Interesting, though elementary, said he, as he returned to his favorite corner of the settee. There are certainly one or two indications upon the stick. It gives us the basis for several deductions. Has anything escaped me? I asked with some self-importance. I trust that there is nothing of consequence which I have overlooked. I am afraid, my dear Watson, that most of your conclusions were erroneous. When I said that you stimulated me, I meant, to be frank, that in noting your fallacies, I was occasionally guided towards the truth. Not that you are entirely wrong in this instance. The man is certainly a country practitioner, and he walks a good deal. Then I was right. To that extent. But that was all. No, my dear Watson. Not all. By no means all. I would suggest, for example, that a presentation to a doctor is more likely to come from a hospital than from a hunt, and that when the initials C.C. are placed before that hospital, the words Charing Cross very naturally suggest themselves. You may be right. The probability lies in that direction, and if we take this as a working hypothesis, we have a fresh basis from which to start our construction of this unknown visitor. Well then, supposing that CCH does stand for Charing Cross Hospital, what further inferences may we draw? Do none suggest themselves? You know my methods. Apply them. Baloo and Mowgli on the rock? Sure, that's rich terrain. But there are plenty of characters to choose from. Countless scenes, one for every occasion, feeling, and moment. When Owen is being challenged, something he's avoiding, running from, like not wanting to swim or try riding a bike, you might stick with the Jungle Book and go with Shere Khan, the tiger voiced in that lowest register of George Sanders. There's a brief and pointed exchange about fear when he asks Mowgli, "Could it be possible that you don't know who I am?" That's the opening line. Whatever he's doing, Owen will snap around, as Mowgli. I know you all right. You're Shere Khan. It's flawless. But there's more. Owen's posture, as he steps forward, shoulders back, is just like Mowgli's in the movie, like a boy trying to summon courage. Precisely, I retort in Sanders' formal accent, checking my nails, which is what Shere Khan does at that moment. Then you should also know that everyone runs from Shere Khan. You don't scare me. I won't run from anyone. Ah, you have spirit for one so small. Of course, that last line is the destination, the inspiring kicker to the exchange. Hearing it, Owen smiles. I smile back, knowingly, conspiratorially, and then he'll often do something he's fearful of. That's the most amazing part. It works. He had a bad, no, not just bad, terrible, horrible moment when it seemed the wheelchair was not going to fit. It was no more than 2 inches too wide, but that was 2 inches too much. She brought it in collapsed. That's why you thought it was a shopping cart at first, his mind informed him drearily. In the end, he was able to squeeze through, barely, by positioning himself squarely in the doorway and then leaning forward enough to grab the jambs of the door in his hands. The axle caps of the wheels squalled against the wood, but he was able to get through. After he did, he grayed out again. Her voice called him out of his daze. He opened his eyes and saw she was pointing a shotgun at him. Her eyes glittered furiously. Spit shone on her teeth. If you want your freedom so badly, Paul, Annie said, I'll be happy to grant it to you. She pulled back both hammers. He jerked, expecting the shotgun to blast. But she wasn't there. Of course, his mind had already recognized the dream. Not a dream. A warning. She could come back any time at all. The quality of the light fanning through the half-open bathroom door had changed, grown brighter. It looked like noonlight. He wished the clock would chime and tell him just how close to right he was, but the clock was obstinately silent.